a sound system there and everybody got rowdy and it was really sweaty and hot. Shout out to Harvard. You guys do get down.
When you played Coachella and you had 90,000 people attend your set,
Feels like yesterday.
you actually beat out The Weeknd, Drake, and AC/DC for attendance record at that show. How does one become cool with DEADMAU5?
He's the police, the EDM police.
Kaskade, what's up, man?
What's happening?
Dip, that's how we do it around here.
Yeah.
Nice intro.
Right.
When I do it at the radio station, I gotta do like a whole like, you are listening to BPM.
Oh, this is much more chill.
Right, dude? We got you 2 pillows on the couch, Coke Zero.
Brown pillows on the green couch. The green couch. What does the green couch mean?
Don't think about it too deep, bro. Don't think about it too deep. Actually, my brother, I think, saw the couch and was the one that purchased it.
It pops. It'll pop on camera.
I did, dude, now that I think about it, because it was 4 years ago. Now I remember I did. I got it from some dude in Miami. That's why it's green.
This is a very Miami couch. All right. Yes.
Yeah, bro. Speaking of Miami, dude, what do you think about the city here? You like it here?
The scene here.
The city.
The city.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Miami.
Yeah. It's dope, right?
Who doesn't? Everyone loves Miami.
For the most part, yeah. Well, people come here and then they have a weekend here and they go too hard and they love it at first and then they leave and they're like, oh, I'm never coming back.
Nah, I could easily live here. There's not a lot of cities I would say that about, but Miami, you got the beach.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather. Mm-hmm. I mean, the living is awesome. Shopping's awesome. It's cool. People are cool. Food's amazing.
Food is amazing.
I mean, you have everything here.
Yeah, especially after 2020 because New York shut down and then all the people in New York brought their food down here and opened restaurants.
That's true.
Yeah.
Miami is now Little New York.
Basically, well, low key, I mean, you're looking at one of the guys that literally came in that way, dude. Bro, so I've been seeing that you've been pulling up to colleges and doing lectures, and you did one at Harvard?
I'm glad you're asking me about that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all these people have been hitting me up. No, I'm not. That wasn't. It's not intentional.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm not on like a lecture tour. Although like every time we post something at one of these, you know, I've been doing that my whole career, really. I mean, obviously in the beginning of my career, people were less interested.
Yeah.
I've always been doing it, but now with social media, it's easier to document. I don't know. When I used to do it, I never really documented it much. I would, take a few photos or whatever. But yeah, I've probably spoken at, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 universities, but then I've spoken at a bunch of schools, middle schools. I've even spoken at a grade school. I mean, I speak at companies, firesides.
Dude, I don't even know what to call you right now. I was going to call you a professor, but you've just done a bunch of speaking events, basically.
Yeah, and then I think having these two really close together, I did Harvard and UCLA within like, I don't know, a week or two of each other. And that's why more people are like, no, you need to come to my school. Hey, dude, I'm going to get something. We have a music program. You got to come visit. And I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. I have a job outside of this. Like I actually have a life too. So
What about ASU? I went to ASU.
which would be an awesome, that's party school. You guys,
Biggest school in the country, actually, by student population.
holy cow.
Yeah, it's like 100-something thousand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it gets rowdy. I mean, but I'm a product of that environment. Me's come out of there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun. I mean, dude, ASU's great.
Yeah, it is.
Hit me up. Next time I'm in town, I'll come by. Share what I have. I don't know.
That's an alumni looking out for you guys. That's me, dude. Wait, so you also threw a show after?
The Harvard one I did. UCLA, I live right next to the campus. I'm very close. It's just a little drive down the street. So I didn't do anything that. But the Harvard thing, they've been asking me for years to come and speak, and it's hard because I got to take another day and a half out of my schedule to get over there, and we always were trying to get the timing to work, and only certain days work. Mm-hmm. So it's taken a few years just to like line it up and make it happen. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you don't have to leave until the next day, because I was gigging in Canada the next day. They're like, hey, we have this small kind of like student unit social thing. They don't call them fraternities there. It's like a social club.
Sure. I've heard about that.
But it's basically like fraternity type of deal. So I went there. Some building built like 150, 200 years ago. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
Had a sound system there and everybody got rowdy and it was really sweaty and hot and exactly what it should have been.
I love that. By the way, shout out to Harvard. I didn't even know Harvard kids got down like that, but apparently they're getting down and moving.
I think that's part of the thing. They want to shout out to Harvard. You guys do get down like that.
Yeah. Shout out for real. Yeah, I want to take this back in time a little bit. I want to take this back to 2015 when you played Coachella and you had 90,000 people attend your set. You actually beat out, I'm pretty sure, The Weeknd, Drake, and AC/DC for attendance record at that show. And it was like a really big monumental moment for dance music. Do you remember that day? Like, and like what it was like?
Yeah, it feels like yesterday.
Really?
I remember, yeah. I mean, in my mind, that's very recent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just one of those, I don't know, everything kind of came together. I think the timing was right. I think kind of from 2010 or 11, I'm sure the people watching this will have some commentary on that. There was just so much buzz around electronic music and people were trying to understand what it was. And I had a few songs that were really delivering kind of at that moment. And I was on the cusp of releasing a new record. I just think a lot of things lined up. And I was playing main stage. You know, it's fitting to have a moment on that stage.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like such a monumental time. On DJ Lovers Club, we post that clip, by the way, all the time. Smashes.
I mean, you post it all the time. I post it whenever anybody else posts it. Coachella posts it a lot. I mean, just in this last year's promo, they were still using that clip because it is so kind of jaw-dropping. It's just like, whoa.
It's insane. It looks like the whole world's there. Would you consider that time period, you just said, what, 2011 to 14, 15? Would you consider that like the first EDM boom? Like when dance music like really took off more towards the mainstream?
Yeah, I think that was a huge wave of interest and it kind of crested and like leaked into more kind of like everyday people. We're paying attention to it. But I kind of feel like we're in this second wave of that happening right now, which is weird for me to say because I don't know. I've seen a few of these in my career along the way. I've been involved with dance music for over 30 years. And I think we're in the middle of it. It's always weird. You need to kind of get through it and then have a little bit of perspective. But I'd say we're in another one right now. I think that was the first major one that really kind of crossed over to like everyday people. And we had, you know, Guetta had songs on the radio. Calvin was really breaking and having multiple number ones. I mean, things were just hitting.
Yeah. It's facts. Calvin's 18 Months album dropped in like 2011, 12. That one was huge too.
Huge.
Yeah. Like there were so many of you guys during that time period just crushing. Like I remember it coming up. And now, dude, I actually saw the statistic that I think house music was the fastest growing genre that was listened to on Spotify this past year.
I saw that. I think I saw it because you posted it and I follow you guys.
I'm your news source.
But I believe it. It makes sense. I'm like, I just think, listen, man, I go to yoga a lot in the morning and I go in there and the playlists are always like whatever's popping in the club. Like that's what they're playing. And it's, you know, where I go to yoga is this hip place with lots of young, cool people in Western LA, west side of LA. I don't know, I feel like there's a million yoga studios like that and gyms and workout places and people listening to it in their headphones. I think it's just very listenable and people are interested in it now more than ever.
No, absolutely. That's funny you say that. I actually went to a yoga class once in my life and I heard your music and disco lines played. And I was like, what's going on? I thought I was supposed to be Zen right now. I guess it is Zen actually. Your music is kind of Zen. It's like melodic-y, but like whenever I hear it, I just want to get after it. You know what I mean? It makes me want to move, not stretch.
But I go to one of those, well, the very first time I went to yoga was recent. It was only a few years ago. It was my very first class. The instructor played 3 of my songs. Not like she knew that I was in the class or anything like that. And I was like, maybe I like yoga. Like, I don't know, kind of got me into it. I was like, oh, this is all right. Yoga's kind of cool, man. They play my music here. I was like,
yoga is pretty dope. If you're a yoga instructor, play more dance music. We're about it. I'm totally in. It was hard to hold those poses though, man. I am not flexible. That was tough for me.
It's tough for me. That's why I go though. Got to get working on the flexibility.
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, so your track Atmosphere, which was also nominated for a Grammy, has your vocals on it, right? How many tracks have you put your vocals on?
I've lost count. A few out there.
Yeah.
Half dozen. A lot of times I sing backup as well, or where I'm just like a supporting vocal, just because trying to get a certain sound. So lead vocal, probably only 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. And then I just cut one this last week in preparation for Coachella. Maybe I sneak it in the set tonight.
Nice. You ever think about whipping out the microphone again and singing? Like live? I've seen clips of you doing it. I've never seen you do it live, but I've seen clips of you doing it.
I've done it on the Atmosphere tour. I did it. I'm not much of a singer live. Listen, I'm a producer, songwriter. Like in the studio, I can make myself sound the way I want. I control the environment, and I can do 50 takes if that's what it takes to get it the way I want it to sound. I'll make it happen. Live's a different thing. I mean, I can remember in rehearsals, you'll find this funny. It was actually here in Miami at the American Airlines Arena. Was the very first Atmosphere show.
No way.
And for the rehearsals, I walked out there. This is maybe 2 hours before the show. We were just like running dry. Like, oh hey, because the stage moved around and all these different cues. I walked out there and I started the show singing Atmosphere. It's the Atmosphere tour, Atmosphere album that just come out. I'm like, I have to start the show with me singing Atmosphere. Like I'm I mean, it's like I have to. I don't have a choice, like whether I want to or not, it doesn't matter. This is what I'm going to do. And I walked out there and I was like, I mean, this is to an empty arena. And like, I couldn't remember the words, like nothing, not even the word atmosphere.
With 0 people in the crowd.
It was with nothing. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have to do, in-ear monitors, it's a very different thing. I think for me, DJing is very comfortable, one, because I've been doing it forever. And two, I have this workspace that's in between me and the people watching. And that's like my zone. Like nobody's getting in there. I'm here. This is where I do my magic. To not have that in front of me and be standing right next to the crowd and they're like screaming. It was very like a boy band kind of moment. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I like this. And it makes me really nervous. And then that's harder to sing. And I was like, I think I'll do like Calvin does and just kind of stick to DJing.
Yeah. That's your safe space. The deck's up there. Yeah, because he used to sing too.
Yeah, he sings. He's got a great voice. I love his voice.
Yeah. I mean, he sings on live tracks, but he was doing like live shows a lot. I remember.
Yeah, he used to have a band.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when I was a kid, I grew up listening to the Smashing Pumpkins, loved them. And Billy Corgan is a brilliant musician, great songwriter. But his voice, I think this is what convinced me to sing. As I listened to his records, I'm like, it's not that he has the perfect voice. That's not why I like it. I think that it sounds a little off and different. That's why I like it. It's not perfect. And that's when I was like, oh man, because I cut Atmosphere thinking, I wrote it and then sat down and cut it thinking that, somebody will come and sing this. That's a singer. And that's definitely like the producer hat on. Like, okay, I'm a producer day. I need to have you come in and sing this song. This is the vibe I want, But it's different to put the artist. Okay, cool. Here's the producer. The artist, I'm like, it doesn't have to sound perfect. And the artist-producer kind of thing is an interesting relationship because I can sit there and be like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's okay. I don't need to spend 10 hours on the mix down on this track. It can be a little off and that's okay.
Yep. That is okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely okay. So obviously, I was looking at your catalog on Spotify earlier today, actually. You released a lot of music. It's pretty dope. Who have been like your favorite artists to work with and collaborate with?
That's a funny question. Pretty much everyone I've worked with is cool.
Yeah.
Especially if I've worked with them a second time, I'm into it because I'm like, okay, these guys are cool enough to do it a second time. And nowadays, I should say, because I think when people are like, oh my gosh, you remixed Lady Gaga, I'm like, it's not like she came over and hung out the studio. I mean, that's maybe how it happened in the 70s or 80s or something. I don't know. But now, people just send files back and forth. It's very rarely that I sit in the studio with somebody. I mean, I've written a lot of music with Joel, DEADMAU5. I think I've collaborated with him more than anyone. And, I've gone to his house and we've worked out of the studio, but I think we did more wake surfing than we did studio work because we're like, wake up late. Okay, let's go wake surfing. We'll get a few hours in the studio. But I think when you're in your own space and you feel comfortable, it's easy to work fast,
Yeah.
There is something about sitting in the room because you don't have to think like when you send a idea to somebody, you're like, if you like it, it's cool. If you think it sucks, it's all right. Like, I'm not married to anything. But once you've done that with somebody a few times, it's cool. Like, I get along really well with Sid. I mean, we've done
shout out Sid.
Sid. I mean, the newest one with him and Annabelle England is doing the business. And, we're always kind of throwing each other tracks. Like, hey man, should this be our next collab? Like, oh no, let me wait for something better. And, I can find something better. Let me work on something. So
no, absolutely. By the way, speaking of Joel, how does one become cool with DEADMAU5?
I don't know if that's the question for me. I don't know.
Can I tell you why I'm asking?
I think you had to know him prior to 2010, and then kind of like you're in some kind of club. You're grandfathered into the club.
That makes sense. Yeah, because he chirps me sometimes online a little bit about my news stats and
stuff. Of course he does.
Yeah.
That's Joel's job, dude. Joe gives me more crap than my older brothers, man. I mean, that's like, keeps everyone in line. That's good. He's the police, the EDM police.
He's literally the police, bro. I'm just trying to be cool with him, man. I just wanted to be like, yo, dude, just be nice to me, please. Dude.
No, that him being mean is showing love.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Is that what it means? Damn, dude, yeah, because I'm a big fan of his too. But dude, I'll always give him love. You know what? Whenever he like gives me shit online now, I'll just take it as a compliment.
There it is.
I'll take it. And
think of them. I'm just showing love.
That's it, dude. I had to ask you that. Yo, so who are your favorite artists like right now that are in the scene, up and coming, like new guys that are kind of like curating the culture going forward?
Oh man, I should probably whip out my laptop and and see who I'm playing. I mean, honestly, I feel like the last 3-4 years, just watching John and Dom kind of come up has been my favorite thing because I was fans of their sound well before they're having this moment now. Same thing with Chris Lake. It's so funny, all these guys that are kind of just in my circles and they're sending me music, and it's cool to see them have the moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's filling in behind that. I really would have to have my laptop and open it open because most of these people I just don't really even, they're just out there I don't even know where some of these people are from. They're emailing me and I'm supporting them and playing their tunes, and like I don't have much of a relationship with them.
That's what's up. I'm fans of all three of theirs. Chris is actually playing tomorrow at the festival that you're playing today.
Yes, I saw that. It's awesome. I mean, the lineup is killer.
It's killer. Honestly, we belong here and crush it with this. And they did 3 days this time instead of 2.
Wow. So I didn't do a very good job at answering that.
Nah. Honestly, you did.
Unprepared.
Next time we'll get your laptop out.
We do it on the fly here.
That's what we do, dude. But that's my fault is feeding you pizza and empanadas before. Now you're like full. You're too comfortable.
I'm like, time for a little nap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dog. Like I up. That's my bad.
It's all good.
All right, this one's going to be a tough question because I know it is. What would you say are your top 5 songs you've ever released?
Well, these are fighting words. And I think you asked me this before, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's so hard.
You don't have to label it 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5.
Well, yeah. I'll just throw some. Listen, I still play most shows. I don't play at every show, but Something Champs, the song Something is kind of a special song that I wrote with Finn Bjarnson, amazing songwriter. And then I mashed that up for Ultra, whatever year that was, I don't know, a long time ago, because the song itself is more of a down-tempo track. So that one always, still, I can put it on and it just like slams. It just like gets me pumped.
Hell yeah.
Like no matter what, I can hear it. I've heard it thousands of times and I still listen to it now and I'm like, man, that riff is so killer next to the lyrics and melody. It just works.
Hell yeah.
On Your Mind, I love putting that one in my list of top songs because it's so different and the tempo is different, but yet it just, for whatever reason, that song kind of caught on. I mean, it's one of my highest streaming songs and like it doesn't fit into any of my sets or anything because it's so slow. The tempo is very slow. But when I put it out, I played it as the last song.
You played it the last song in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It banged. I was in the crowd.
It does bang live. If you know it, and you've heard it, and you're probably listening to it in your car at loud volume, so it's nice to hear it with some people. Yeah, I closed with that for a really long time. I think 4 a.m. is still a really special song. It's a special song to me, and it's been cool to see that one connect with so many people. It's like I can still play that now, and people know. Whatever, I should go for some B-sides, but another one that really sticks out to me, Room for Happiness. Skylar Grey is just, she's the coolest ever, and like arguably one of the most talented songwriters of our generation. I just really feel like she's done written so many songs that are so memorable. And I felt like I got onto her early-ish. She was working with Puffy and I heard her song and I literally called up and I was like, I have to work with this girl. And anyway, figured out who she was and figured out how to get to her pretty quickly. And fortunately, she was living in LA, so I always love to shout out Skylar.
Hell yeah, shout out.
It's like we went out and vibed and hung out and she came over to the studio and then she went home and I think she was like, okay, I get the vibe, I think this. And then I sent her some chords and she just sent Room for Happiness back. She's like, I just recorded this in my living room. I'm like, this is maybe the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Like, I was like, are you serious with this? Anyway, so I don't know, is that some? What did I give 5?
I think that was 4. I think you need just one more. And by the way, we'll clarify, these are not we're just listing 5 tracks right now that you like, all right?
All right. I'll go for a B-side that I still play because I like it. I think people maybe do or don't like it, I don't know, but I'm always like, I like it, I'll play it. I'm in control here. We Don't Stop, which is another one that I sing on, which actually out of all the songs I sing on, that one is actually kind of easy to sing live because it's right in my range. I didn't have to work really hard and it's just kind of more of a sing-along. But yeah, I like it because I like the message.
Nice. Hell yeah. It's a good 5. I'm actually going to sub out here for a second for the last question. Do you mind?
All right.
I got someone here for you right now. All right, Pop, get over here.
The legend.
My dad wants to ask you a question. I'm actually giving him my seat right now, all right?
I'll throw him the high five on camera here. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Watch out for your head.
As I watch, observe you touring and going all over the world and how many shows you do, I'm super impressed by how much you work. You're like the hardest working man in show business. So I wonder how you do it. How do you keep your energy going? How do you keep going like that?
Thank you. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. I think there are harder working dudes out there. Aoki, I'm always like, man, I'm working really hard. And I just pull up his Instagram feed. I'm like, oh, Steve's working harder. You can probably understand this. I think when you're doing what you love, I think for me, it's always been a challenge to what do I say no to?
Yep.
I really enjoy a lot of aspects of what I do, from sitting down and making music to going out and performing. Really the hardest part of my gig is getting on the plane, right? Getting to the airport, going through security, getting to all these different places. But if that's the downside of your gig, like, wow, this is amazing. But even after I travel, whatever, I just played over in Australia. It's a long trip. And went over to Perth, and we were way over there. I'm like, I am on the other side of the world right now. I'm playing to a room full of people that know my songs. It's so rewarding to connect with people. Like in Perth, there's some girl that I've been listening to for 20 years. Thank you so much for coming here. You haven't been here in 15 years. Thanks for coming back.
Awesome.
Those kind of things keep me motivated and inspired, and just kind of, and I'm enjoying it. So
that's awesome. That's beautiful. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always good to see you. Thanks.
Good to see you.
Hell of a question.
That was a good one. It was a good one.
That's good stuff. All right, dude. That about wraps it up for us. Thanks for coming in, by the way. Kaskade, we love seeing you as always, brother.
Yes.
Much love, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Peace.